Have you ever been a part of a conversation at work where someone said something you found discriminatory and offensive, but you didn't want to object because you didn't want to jeopardize the relationship or your job? It happens to a lot of us, and it can be very stressful as we struggle with making the best decision. Imagine that you and your colleagues are taking a coffee break and your supervisor starts making jokes about a coworker's race that you feel are inappropriate. Do you choose to ignore the comments and avoid a conflict? Or do you confront your supervisor, or even report the incident? You may feel that if you speak up now, you might face retaliation from your supervisor later. The good news is that by the end of this brief video, you'll have the tools to confidently make the best choice in these situations. You'll make the right choices for both yourself and for the company, help create a better workplace environment, and feel a whole lot better in the process. The first step to avoiding discrimination and harassment is being able to define it. Discrimination is negative treatment of someone solely based on personal characteristics, such as race, sex, age, or religion, and not based on job performance or merit. Some examples include being asked to get coffee for the male staff solely because you are a woman, being passed over for promotion because you are too young or too old, or not being included in a group meeting because of personal religious views. Additionally, discrimination can be in the form of harassment, including offensive nicknames, improper emails, inappropriate comments, or even jokes. The example about race is a clear case of harassment because the inappropriate remarks are being directed at an employee simply due to his physical appearance or other characteristics. Of course, such comments can be personally upsetting, but also may put the recipient at a professional disadvantage. Sexual harassment is a particular form of harassment. Consider Simon. Though Alinka has clearly communicated to him she is not interested in him romantically, he repeatedly sits next to her in meetings, invites her to events outside of work, sends flowers to her desk, and calls her at home. Though this treatment could be flattering to some, it makes Alinka afraid, because she has made it clear to Simon that these advances are unwelcome. This is clearly sexual harassment. So by now you should have the information you need to define discrimination, including harassment. What's next? You must acknowledge what is occurring and act to improve the situation. Although it would be best for Alinka to report the harassment herself, we must all remain vigilant to prevent such situations. If she does not do so, you should report Simon's behavior to a supervisor, higher level manager, or HR. The important point is that if our company finds harassment in the workplace, we want to correct it. Your manager or HR will confidentially investigate the situation. Simon may be subject to disciplinary action, which could include written warnings, counseling, or even termination. In summary, avoiding discrimination and harassment means we must define it. We must acknowledge that the behavior is occurring, and we must act towards preventing it from occurring in the future. 3 simple steps to confidently prevent discrimination and harassment in the workplace. Going back to the situation involving your supervisor's inappropriate comments about your coworker's race, it's now probably pretty clear that such comments are not tolerated in the workplace. You should speak to your supervisor or report the incident to HR. In the short run, it may cause a conflict with your boss. But in the long run, you'll not only ensure that your coworker can enjoy the harassment-free workplace he deserves, but you'll help create a more respectful and productive work environment for everyone. Now, doesn't that make you feel better already? If you have any questions about discrimination or other compliance issues, please contact our ethics or compliance office. We're here to help.